everyone, and welcome to the Cyber News with Shantae. I am your host, Shantae. Thank you so much for joining me today. So, I'm going to be talking about what happened in cyber this week, what was hot, what was trending, and also what you need to know and what you can do about it. But before I get started, make sure you like, subscribe, share, also comment and let me know what you thought about this video. Turn on your notifications so that whenever I upload any new content, you'll be the first to know. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get right into it. So earlier this week, Apple pushed out security updates in response to zero-day flaw that was reported to them by security researchers. So pretty much what a zero-day is that someone already had the device before the update was made available. So in regard to these updates, it's affecting the iPhones and the iPad OS after a certain version. The two issues that they're patching is kernel related issues and WebKit related issues. Now with the kernel issue, if you have like a fake app or app that's been compromised, it can use that issue to pretty much affect the entire phone. So if that happens, you might as well hang it up because your phone no longer belongs to you. It's over. They got everything. They got everything on the phone. Now, as far as the WebKit issue, it's a little bit more interesting because that affects the browser on the device. One thing about Apple is that they allow other browsers, but the browsers have to act the same exact way and function the same way as Safari. So if that is the case, not only can Safari be compromised, but all other browsers that's installed on the device can be compromised as well. So that's not really a good thing. And that's been a long time argument amongst others. So what Apple has advised is for the users to update to the latest version, which is 16.3.1 for the iPhones and 16.3.1 for the iPads. The same zero-day vulnerability is being applied to macOS Big Sur and macOS Monterey. This is for Safari. So again, this is the WebKit issue, which affects the browser. So that can be compromised. Apple is urging people to update their Safari to 16.3. The zero-day flaw also affects macOS Ventura. With the update, it is again addressing the kernel, WebKit, and in addition to those two shortcuts. Now, with the shortcuts, it's addressing a privacy issue, meaning that if there's an app on your device that's fake or that has been compromised, it can take advantage of the shortcuts and gain access to unprotected user data. So just think of it like this. Whatever you do on that phone, they'll be able to access that. So if you opening up your bank, you got personal information like passwords, you got account information, whatever it is, they'll be able to access that. So that's also addressed in this update. If you need more information about how to find these articles, I'll put the links in the description below. All right, next up, we have Microsoft warns of exploited Windows 0 days. So every second Tuesday of the month, Microsoft pushes out a massive or cumulative update, and they call this Patch Tuesday. So for the month of February, they fixed 76 flaws within this massive update. Also contained within this update were 3 0 days that they patched. And you guys need to listen to this because this first one, the Windows graphics component remote code execution vulnerability, will allow someone to execute commands with system privileges, meaning that they can compromise you and run all of these commands from a different location. They don't have to be there with you. The other issue on top of that is Microsoft pushed this update out through the Microsoft Store and not through Windows Update. So if you have automatic updates disabled through the Microsoft Store, you currently don't have this update on your device and you need to go in and manually do it ASAP. And I may put a video out to show you guys how to do the manual updates on your devices. Now, the second 0 day that they fixed was for the Microsoft Publisher Security Features Bypass Vulnerability. Now, with this one in Microsoft Publisher, it'll allow someone with a specially crafted document to bypass Office macro policies that block untrusted or malicious files. And when this happens, they will allow the document to run without first warning the user, meaning that somebody can drop a malicious document on your machine, go into Microsoft Publisher, turn that policy off that blocks something that's untrusted, and then you won't even be notified. And they can go ahead and execute malware or a virus. So this one was also fixed with Patch Tuesday. Now, the third one that they fix is the Windows Common Log File System Driver Elevation of Privilege Vulnerability, which allows someone to successfully exploit that vulnerability with the logging system to gain system privileges. So, if you don't know what the Common Log File System is, it pretty much logs everything that you do on your device, everything from data all the way to event logging. So everything is logged. So they can go ahead and compromise that. Elevation of privilege means that they can give themselves admin rights. They can go from a local user to an administrator, and then they can lock down, they can steal your stuff, they can do whatever they want to your machine at that time. So please make sure that you're watching out for these updates. These are critical. All right, next up, we have Adobe plus critical security holes in Illustrator After Effects software. Now, also with the Patch Tuesday, just like Microsoft and also with Apple patching their 0 days, Adobe on Tuesday released security fixes for at least a half a dozen of the vulnerabilities that expose Windows and Mac OS users to a malicious hacker attacks. So again, the products that are affected are with Photoshop, Illustrator, and After Effects. Again, this leads to arbitrary code execution for Windows and Mac OS for these products, as well as memory leak, which can cause your system to crash and slow down the performance. So again, if you've seen the updates for these products, please go ahead and update them as soon as possible. Adobe is claiming that they have not received any reports that anyone has been hacking these vulnerabilities. But again, you never know. So go ahead and make sure that you update. Thank you guys for joining me with the roundup this week. I'll see you next time.